Yeah, Brian, you can see behind me the fire is roaring nearly 10 hours after it first began. Here on the scene, not only is there still a thick cloud of smoke, but since it's gotten darker and darker, those flames have only become more visible. Huey Street is where it all began. In fact, tonight there's still crime scene tape here in the grass on the corner of Huey Street. Now, this right here is a piece of wooden art that was hanging on that wall that you just saw is completely destroyed, but this survived the fire. Now, this means a lot to the homeowner. He says that his son-in-law actually made it for him. The proposed budget for 2018 is about $6 million higher than 2017's budget, but there's one major cut that's been holding things up. There's remnants of this accident all over the place here. Just behind me, you can see that's actually transmission fluid that leaked from the car. It's covering the snow. Now, the tracks in the road show that the car stopped about right here, getting out of the car and taking off running down this alley.
Our Sara Rivest is live where the accident happened near the Transpo station downtown. Sara, a powerful evening out there tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Calling this vigil tonight, it was truly unlike anything I've ever seen before. Of course, people are extremely sad about Tristan's death, but they're also incredibly angry, and they want to see something done about this intersection now.
We need a light! The families in South Bend need a light!
If they fix the streets, put lights on the street, this wouldn't have happened.
Retracing Tristan Moore's walk to the Transpo station, the one that would be his last. The 11-year-old's grieving family crossed Michigan Street hand in hand with neighbors and strangers alike, furious about his death.
What are we supposed to do? And then something like this happens, and where's our mayor? He created this mess. Where is our mayor?
Look at this gentleman right here. Is this a smart street?
No! Bringing the cars on the city's smart streets to a halt. South Bend police brought in to direct traffic at the intersection.
We need a light!
We wanted for everybody to acknowledge that this is a problem and that it needs to be addressed and taken care of. This shouldn't be something that's put off for 6 more months. It needs to be taken care of today.
I pray that we get a light put up here that we don't have to keep studying. It was enough studying that went on tonight. It's enough studying when we lost the light.
With the traffic signals still off at Michigan and South Streets, candles were lit for Tristan, the little boy who was just trying to get to school Monday morning.
He just didn't care how he got to school as long as he got there. This isn't his fault. And hopefully it's gonna be okay.
Tears stopped with a chant.
Let's go!
Local law enforcement standing behind 11-year-old Drake Price.
I want to be a police officer.
Maybe you can come take my job sometime, huh?
Who wants to be just like them one day.
All right, Bob.
But in February, his world was turned upside down when doctors found a baseball-sized brain tumor. He spent the last 2 months recovering from surgery in the hospital, but he didn't go at it alone. Warsaw police made him an honorary officer, and agencies from all over got word, sending support from New York, from France, Italy, you name it.
If you can see on my hat, I have lots of challenge coins.
Now he's healing and headed home a hero, welcomed by hundreds of people in Warsaw with his new brothers in blue escorting him through town.
Make sure that they can see him waving at them.
His classmates at the elementary schools
Whoa.
jumping at the chance to greet him as he rode by.
You gotta go home?
We felt that we wanted to be behind him and show that he's got all of us behind him. We're excited to have him home, and we're grateful that he was able to make the trip home with us today.
Good job.
Thank you.
Sure, buddy. Praying for you, sir. You're quite a young man, and I'm proud to know you, and it's been an honor.
We're just overwhelmed by the support and love and the prayers that the whole town of Warsaw, and not only Warsaw, but the whole world has gave us during this time.
Welcome home, partner.
From the bottom of our hearts, you don't know how special this is, not only to him, but to us. I was in tears the whole way through town.
From each and every one of us, to all of you, thank you for being there and supporting us through this whole thing.
In Warsaw, Sara Rivest, ABC 57 News.
We are! Let's go!
When Dr. Todd Graham was shot and killed exactly 3 months ago, that tragedy influenced different agencies to fight it together. And we've shared part of that story in the past. But tonight, I'm taking a deeper dive. I sat down with 5 local doctors as they shared their knowledge, their facts, and shared their fears, all in hopes of finding a solution.
This is a problem that affects all of us. It crosses all racial boundaries and well-to-do people and people that are destitute. It affects everyone. So I think it's something that really is stark.
In 2015, more than 1 in 3 Americans were prescribed an opiate for pain relief. And according to the CDC, a dangerous misuse of those medications brings 1,000 users to the ER every day. So how did we get here? General Surgeon Dr. Mark Thompson says the problem began in the 90s when pain became a vital sign checked during each office visit, just like body temperature or heart rate. And at the same time, a new treatment went on the market, oxycodone.
I think that the idea that opioids weren't addictive, could be used safely to treat pain, and this huge awareness of pain was a perfect storm to lead us over-prescribing and over-treating a lot of people with pain.
Those pills given with good intentions, doctors admit have led to deadly consequences.
That me trying to help someone might kill someone, that's something I never anticipated. That keeps me awake at night.
Having a hand in creating even one more addict is their biggest fear. So Michiana physicians are putting themselves on the front lines of the fight. The group has gained traction since August when Dr. Todd Graham, a specialist in physical rehab and pain medicine with South Bend Orthopedics, was gunned down by the husband of a patient asking for opioids.
If you thought that you don't have any patients with addiction problems in your practice, you're probably wrong. It's a problem with a lot of little problems underneath it, and you can't solve it with just addressing one of those pieces.
One of those pieces is over at Michiana Spine. It specializes in helping patients live with chronic pain.
Pain patients are real patients. There are family members, our friends, our neighbors, our parents, and they deserve good quality health care.
In moderation, they see opioids as a valuable tool for treatment, one they aren't willing to give up.
We're not intimidated, but we are concerned. When you see this amount of deaths going on, you see a colleague being shot, it makes you think we need to make sure that we're making the best judgments we can, and we have to be aware that there's other consequences to our judgments.
But Dr. Kevin Drew tells me sometimes those judgment calls can be tricky.
Our biggest enemy is not the addict. Our biggest enemy is the criminal, what's called a diverter.
Since opening his office 17 years ago, he's called police on 10 different occasions. Most recently, just days before that office confrontation turned deadly for Dr. Graham.
And I had just had a very similar experience to him.
Drew explains the story's shocking similarities.
The spouse was really pressing me hard about writing medications. And I was like, no, I don't think we should. And I'm talking to the patient. And this guy over here is going more and more bonkers and really making himself adamant. I remember looking at him and thinking, why are you so bothered by this?
Turning a blind eye is the easy way out, according to Dr. Drew.
It takes 20 seconds to write, 20 minutes not to write. And when you're getting behind on a day, you start thinking, where can I make up some time? I can just write this and go on to the next patient. And we need to have a little more fortitude to not.
The docs are trying to make that a state law now, to check a patient's history before prescribing.
How can we work better as a team to address all of the needs of that patient so that they can make that recovery a reality for themselves and ultimately, to a certain extent, stay out of the legal system as well.
That includes working with the legal system. St. Joseph County Prosecutor Ken Cotter has joined the team too, talking to over 60 local doctors in different branches of practice. And Cotter knows this is not easy.
This won't end. That also is encouraging for me. I think that our community is now committed that we are going to address this. Are we going to fix it? I can't answer that. I don't have a crystal ball. But we're going to keep addressing this, and having these very intelligent and very committed people wanting to address it is incredibly encouraging.
And the commitment to change, of course, extends far beyond the medical community. It's also being done in the court system, with judges now joining the fight as well.